Welcome. You've made it past the introduction and you're here at week 1. Good work. In doing so, you have become some of my favourite Eden Grove people. But maybe you're watching this with a bit of a heavy, anxious heart. You're here because this seems to be a new Eden Grove thing and you're committed to Eden Grove and it seems like something that you should maybe do. But if you're really honest, you're hoping that this takes a bit less than 5 minutes and that you can get back to doing whatever it is you'd rather be doing right now. Well, my hope is that this week, week 1, will put your mind at ease. Because this catechism stuff contains the very best news that there is. It's there to help us get to know God better, so as we think about these things throughout the week, it will encourage us, it will strengthen and deepen our faith, and I hope that one day we might find ourselves even looking forward to these videos. That might seem far off and far-fetched at the moment, but that's what we're shooting for. So, here it is. Question 1 in the catechism. What is man's chief end? It's one of life's biggest questions. What is the number one thing we are meant to do with our lives? What is the reason that we were created? Or to put another way, what is the meaning of life? Now you're pretty much getting this week for free, because if you've ever learned anything of the catechism, or if you only know one answer out of the whole lot, well, it's probably going to be this one. But here it is. Man's chief end is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. Simple, right? Well, yes, simple, but also amazing. So what does it mean to glorify God? John Piper defines it like this. Glorifying means feeling and thinking and acting in ways that reflect His greatness, that make much of God, that give evidence of all the supreme greatness of all His attributes and the all-satisfying beauty of all His manifold perfections. That's pretty good, right? And that right there, that's our job. And it's not just a job, and it's not just one of the many jobs we have. It's our chief, number one, first in our priorities, comes before everything else job. You see, if you asked people sitting in the pews in churches across the country what the most important thing that God has for them to do, I'm guessing you get a whole bunch of different answers. Maybe they'd say supporting the church, serving in different ministries. They might say going out and telling people about Jesus. Now don't get me wrong, those are good jobs to have. They're things that we're called to do, along with the other jobs we're called to do as well. Being a good husband and father, being a wife and mother, supporting our families, being teachers, postmen, policemen, farmers, whatever else it is that we might do. But none of these things are the why in the question of why God made you. None of these things get to the core of the reason why He delights in you. If they were, then the danger would be that we'd start to feel like the reason God loved us was because we were doing those jobs well. Or even worse, we might start to feel that He doesn't love us just quite so much anymore because maybe at the moment we're not doing those jobs just as well as we might. The answer to this question is not about performance, it's about relationship. This isn't something that you can go off and work on your own. You can't glorify God without loving Him. The job God has for you, the big one, your chief end, it's not a list of things to do. It's not a checklist of things that you can either succeed or fail to cross off. It's to know Him, and it's to enjoy your relationship with Him. When we're doing that, then it rearranges and changes how we do all those other things. And the things we do for God, like serving in church or telling others about Jesus, well, suddenly we're not doing those things because we're Christians and that's what Christians have to do. We do them because we love God. And because of that love, well, it just wouldn't make sense not to do them. This stuff, this is what we should be about, Eden Grove, because it's what Jesus was about. Even facing the horror of the cross, He said, "But for this purpose I have come to this hour. Father, glorify your name." So as you're learning about this answer this week and thinking about all that it means, here are some things to think about. Firstly, are you really living like to glorify and enjoy God is your number one priority? And if not, what is it that's threatening to take that place? Is it your career, your finances, your future, maybe your family, maybe even your church? What is it that's taking God's place? Secondly, are you enjoying your relationship with Him? Or has the God stuff that you do become kind of a chore? Are you doing it because you think you should? Or are you doing it because your heart is His, through and through? Because there's nothing your heart wants more than to serve and please Him, your Lord and your Saviour. If the answer to either of those questions is no, the solution is not to try harder. That's just giving yourself another standard that you're trying to live up to, another set of tasks to complete. The solution is to go to Him. The solution is relationship, because it's out of that relationship comes the behaviour that will glorify Him. and the peace and the joy that means we can truly say we are enjoying Him and will enjoy Him forever. That's right, forever. And we don't even have time in this video to talk about how amazing that is. As you learn this question this week, don't just put the words in your head, put this truth in your heart. So there it is, week 1. What is man's chief end? Man's chief end is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. Have fun, and I'll see you next week.